What is the essence of extreme long-range shooting? Imagine a target thousands of yards away, the size of an average television set. That's your objective, but you must cope with conditions that can send shots completely off course. Do it right, and you could become the king of 2 miles. Welcome to the King of 2 Miles, presented by Applied Ballistics, coming to you from the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico. I'm Ted Jones. Joining me for today's coverage, Paul Phillips. Let's take a look at what you have to do to qualify. Target 1 is 5 shots. Targets 2, 3, and 4, you get 3 tries. If you miss one of the targets, you're out of competition. If you hit all 4 targets at least once, you get to advance to our finals, which will be 2 miles away. Now, where are these targets located? Well, target 1's 1,550 yards. Target 2, 1,750 yards. Both those targets are about 2 feet by 3 feet. Target number 3, 1,890 yards, which is just over a mile. Target 4 is also over a mile, and both of those are about 2.5 by 3 feet. We found it gets most difficult at target 2 because that's actually just right at 1 mile. Let's meet our first shooter. This is Chris Schmidt. He's from Choo Choo Town, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah, Chris is a ranger. He's bringing an M99 Barrett, chambered in .416 Barrett with a 472 grain cutting-edge M-Tech bullet, 3,170 feet per second. These things are big, powerful rounds.
Check level. Check. .9.
I've seen him shoot before. He's a good shooter.
Missed the first try. But the second one he had a hit with shot number 2, so he will get to advance. Now he's trying to accumulate points with the next 3 shots.
Up, 110.
He was just a little low. They're telling him to raise it up. You can hear the spotters.
Yeah, he's got Ronnie Wright spotting for him. He's on the ball right now. He's seen his shot, and he's going to correct him in there.
He corrected him correctly. He gets a hit with shot number 4.
.9. .9. .9.
Good guidance. He hits with shot number 5. So let's take a look at exactly how he did. 3 hits, 2 misses. He will get to advance on to target number 2.
1.
If you notice Ronnie, you hear him. He's giving him up-to-date commands on what do you think the wind's worth.
1.
And a hit on the first one. Now, this is the target that stops a lot of guys, let me tell you. A lot of them go out on target 2.
Yeah, that was a first-round impact in the second plate almost a mile away. That's huge points. And that also tells me that they know what they're doing with their ballistics.
Well, on the second one, looked like he was just a little high for a miss right there. What is that on the very front of the rifle, Paul, I see there?
That's a muzzle brake that directs the muzzle blast away to help with recoil management.
And a hit, so 2 out of 3. Boy, he's amassing some points there. So far, 3 hits on target number 1, target number 2, 2 out of 3. Now we move on, target 3. This one's just over 1 mile.
And now the spotter's going to pay attention here.
And a miss on that one. Getting more difficult.
Yeah, it looks like they had the wind dialed in pretty good. They were just over the top.
I can hear the wind.
Check level.
Another miss.
Yeah, another one just over the top again. They just need to come down a little bit, and they should be good to go.
1 1. 1 2. 1 2.
Oh, and he hit almost dead center of the target. Look at the bullet lower right-hand corner right there. 3 hits on the first target, 2 hits on the second. He only needed the 1 hit on the third target, and he's amassing points. So he goes to target 4. 1 hit is all he needs, folks, to qualify for the finals.
First shot at 1990. Let's see how he did do. Center mass, first shot, 1990. Unbelievable. If it was me, I'd be shooting right away.
Before the wind can change.
Absolutely. If I would have hit center mass, I'd be just following up really fast.
Well, not fast enough. He missed the second one.
Yeah, at this distance, man, you hit center mass, you just got to turn and burn.
All he's doing is losing points at this time, though. He still is qualified for the finals, as far as we know.
They're doing awesome. That first run impact at 1990 is wonderful.
So he had that hit and target 4, which qualifies him for the finals. We asked him, do you have any secrets on how you do this?
I never felt rushed. We practiced this. This was something that we were timed. We worked on it. It really, you know, I hate to belabor the point, but you have to practice this. You know, that's the science behind this sport. You know, that's the fun part.
Practice makes perfect, I'll tell you. Coming up next, Brian Litz will be our shooter. Stay with us for more King of 2 Miles.
The King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Lapua Bullets, passion for precision. Blackstone with graphene by IA Coatings, innovation without boundaries. And by McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, molding the way America shoots.
Welcome back to the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico, and the King of 2 Miles competition presented this week by Applied Ballistics. The owner of Applied Ballistics is Brian Litz, who's getting ready to shoot. Earlier, he and Paul Phillips took a look at some of the efforts that Applied Ballistics takes in preparing for competition.
The science of accuracy is playing a huge role in the military and competitive shooting for extreme long-range shots. Brian, can you explain how this works?
Yeah, Paul, our approach is all based around modeling and simulation based on 100-yard baselines, okay? So most of the hard work that you have to do as a shooter is done at 100 yards, getting a basic rifle zero and good muzzle velocities. Beyond that, it's our job through the modeling and the Applied Ballistics software, all the live fire that we've done to support our software products to put you on target at distance, because that's what we do, is predict the trajectories at long distance. So we're going to give sort of a demonstration of the kind of thing you have to do at 100 yards. It's really basic, getting 100 yard zero and getting velocity. So Doc, when you're ready, give us 3 shots, please. Okay, so we had 3 shots there. Extreme spread was 10 feet per second. You know, this is really basically all the shooter has to do is his job at 100 yards, making sure that his zero doesn't shift, that his muzzle velocities aren't spread out too much. And after that, you're just plugging that into the software and letting the science of accuracy propagate your trajectory downrange to give you your solutions on targets. So we're gonna keep doing what we're doing to refine the science of accuracy and make it available to the recreational military shooters.
So Brian is ready to shoot, and guess what? I've lost Paul Phillips again, folks. He's down there as a spotter one more time.
Upper right-hand corner.
Now you heard Paul tell him, upper right-hand corner. He missed just a little bit. He's told him how to correct now. He's got a hit.
Right.
Wait, I went half left.
Go half right.
Half right on the
All right,
dot.
Paul's telling, no, don't go left, go half right.
Center mass. Upper right-hand corner.
Another hit. Paul's telling him, stay right there, upper right-hand corner, and you'll hit it. That's what he wants him to aim at. That's 3 shots in a row that he's hit. It's really no surprise because Brian was the head coach of the World Championship U.S. Rifle Team.
Looks good. Okay.
So let's take a look at how he did. Absolutely incredible. The first shot was off to the right. Paul corrected him, kept him there, telling him go for the upper right corner, and it worked. 4 hits the next time all in a row. Matter of fact, you heard Paul call it early. That's because he could see the trace. Target number 2 now. Over the top.
That looked 12 o'clock.
Okay, it was
centered at 12 o'clock.
So he'll correct down just a little bit. He still is over the top, just slight. He didn't come down quite enough. Concentration.
That looked good.
And he hit that one.
Nice job, Ryan.
So let's take a look right now at how he's doing. 4 hits. He's racking points up on target 1, target 2. The third shot, he had a hit. Now, the earlier you hit, the more points you get.
Stay in the scope. Send it.
Here we go. Target number 3.
Look a little left.
A little to the left. Now, clouds have moved over, so that makes it kind of difficult for them to see the miss where the bullet hit. It's hard to tell him how to correct.
That's better.
They're trying, but one more time a miss. Now, this is the third shot. Remember, he only gets 3. If he doesn't hit on this one, he's out of competition. And unfortunately, a miss. So we caught up with Brian and we asked him, with the clouds coming over, how come that made you miss target 3 times?
The problem right now is that because of the light conditions, it's very difficult to spot impacts. The targets are in the shade. And so you'll see a plume come out, but that might be 5 feet from where the bullet hit. So the coach and spotter are having a really hard time spotting impact and calling corrections.
And with that, it's time for another break, but we'll be back when we return. This is our next shooter, David Griffith. Stay tuned for more King of 2 Miles. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to King of 2 Miles from the NRA Whittington Center. This particular episode brought to you by Applied Ballistics. Now let's meet our next shooter, David Griffith. You know that name? Of course you do. He was a spotter earlier for Barry Hamilton. Now Barry Hamilton is going to spot for him. Shot number 1 is a miss. Looked like it was just a little bit high. Robert Brantley is also spotting. He has been spotting before. He's the win coach this particular time. So we went from cloud cover. Now the sun's out. You can see it pretty bright right there. How does that affect things with that hit, by the way?
Yeah, sunlight can play huge factors in how you can see bullets impacting that downrange. As you noticed with Brian, we had a hard time with the cloud cover. It was a shadow downrange. Now the sun's out. So that's benefiting these people. They can see the impacts downrange. And as you can see, they're putting rounds right down the middle.
Oh, yeah, sure are. Got 3 hits so far. Is the 5th round. And we'll make it 4 out of 5. Indeed, we will.
Yeah, that's good shooting right there. They were right down the middle.
Yeah, take a look right there. All 4 of them looking really good. He had the 1 miss, but then they adjusted, and as Paul pointed out, having the sunlight helped them do that very accurately. So we move on now to target number 2. Looks like he's a little low.
2 minutes.
He told me to correct by 2 minutes.
Yep, he's a little bit low there off to the left. The spotter saw it, so hopefully they can make the corrections and make impact on that target to advance to 3rd plate.
Well, a little closer, but not quite good enough.
Yeah, they're dialing in here. You should have a good chance to make impact now. They've saw 2 shots.
Yep, he got it. Success on target number 2. So 4 hits on target 1. It took him the 3rd shot. Not as many points for the 3rd shot, but what counts? He gets to go to target 3.
Yeah, this plate here, it's past a mile. We're looking at about 35 feet above the target before the bullet comes back down. A lot of arc. You see the first impact there was off to the right a little bit. We'll see if they can adjust and make a hit here and advance to the 4th plate.
So he corrects to the left. And it worked.
Dead center elevation just off the right edge of the plate. He's going to get to advance to the 4th plate.
Unfortunately, not so much. Just barely off the right-hand side of the plate right there. But what counts, folks? He gets to go on to the next target.
Yeah, target 4, we're looking at almost 40 feet above the ground level before that bullet comes back down. 3 to 3.5 seconds of flight time. These spotters will be utilizing that to find out when that bullet's going to impact the target. It's going to help them the time of flight. Making that hit in the 4th round, awesome job.
Take your time. That's plenty of time. Don't rush it. Impact.
Another one.
Yeah, you got another one.
10 seconds.
Yeah, this is going to put him up in the finals. He's doing great here. These guys have their act together. Everybody's working in unison. They're making impacts at all 4 targets. Unbelievable job. Unfortunately, the last shot was down low and right, but hey, they accumulated enough points to make it to the finals.
As we pointed out earlier, Barry Hamilton was his spotter. David was the spotter for Barry. So it looks like they work almost as a team.
Barry and I have been shooting together quite a while, and what he was doing, he was making the adjustments, getting my bullets out, and getting them ready for me, telling me what to do. You know, with him, when he was shooting, I'd load his bullet and get it ready for him. So it just kind of works that way for both of us.
As we go to break, we'll take a look at our next shooter. This is Jeff Heeg. He'll be up next when we continue with more King of 2 Miles.
King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Night Force Optics. Rugged, reliable, repeatable. Applied Ballistics LLC, the science of accuracy. And by Z-Max Micro Lubricant. Protect your gun from harmful buildup.
Welcome back to the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico. I'm Ted Jones along with Paul Phillips, and you're watching the King of 2 Miles shooting competition presented this week by Applied Ballistics. Let's meet our next shooter now, Jeff Heeg from Marshfield, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Jeff's shooting a 375 snipe tack. That's basically a 375 shy tack improved.
And a good hit on that first shot, Paul.
Yeah, that's big points. 5 times the distance. Let's see if he can keep rolling here. He's using 361 grain flatline bullets, and they're moving.
Well, a miss on the second one. You hear the spotter telling him to come up a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like he just hit low. That one's over the top.
Center target, right edge.
So he told him to go for the right edge.
Yeah, that's out the bottom again.
Yeah.
Just favor a little high.
A little bit of elevation issues here. It could be his position. You gotta be consistent. Everything you do, the pressure that you have your shoulder into the buttstock, the way that you're centered up on the rifle, your elevation, everything has to be perfect.
Well, take a look right there. He did have the one hit, which gives him the right to move on now to target number 2. Now, I saw him. It looked like he just loaded because he has a magazine hanging underneath there.
Yeah, this is a repeater. It's magazine fed. He's going to be able to get his rounds chambered a little bit quicker.
Top, same windage, top of the plate.
That first shot was low left. Let's see if the spotters pick this up and make corrections. He's taking his time. That's good. Taking his time, making sure that all his shooting fundamentals are correct.
Still looked like it was to the left.
Jeff, give it a
Yeah, that was a little bit closer to the target, but low left.
So just a little bit more to the right, and he should be able to hit.
Yep, the spotter saw it, and they're going to make a correction here.
There it is.
Beautiful. Center mass, a little bit up high.
But he manages to get one hit on each target. That's all he needs to move on to the next target, but not many points. So, target 3 coming up.
Yeah, target 3 is a little bit past a mile. Notice the oh, nice shot.
Hit right there, yeah, lower left.
Yeah, impact, beautiful. That'll be worth some points there. Notice the clouds came back in, so they're going to have to be on the ball here to watch for trace and impact.
And a miss there.
More right, Jeff. Another half target
So
right.
he's telling me to move to the right because that miss was to the left.
Yeah, the spotter saw it. That's good. They're on the ball here as a team, working together. Another hit.
So he'll get to move on now with 2 hits on target number 3. Tried to pick up some points because he missed a lot of points on target 1 and 2.
And they're doing very well, though. They're making impacts at all these stages. Let's see if he can hit target 4.
Well, a miss on the first one.
Another target right.
Yeah, just off to the left, they saw the impact, and they're going to make an adjustment here.
Yes, they told him to come a little bit to the right. And that worked. You see it's on the left-hand side, but it is on the target. He came just enough to the right.
Yeah, that's beautiful. 2,000 yards, impact. Let's see if we can make one more shot here for points.
Oh, way off to the left. So he didn't have a lot of hits, but enough to advance him into the finals. It looks like you were having trouble with the wind, right, Jeff?
We could sense that it was picking up and letting off at times, so then I just kept floating left and right, and it was kind of fun to walk her all the way out.
So let's take a look at our qualified shooters right now. We have 9. We qualified number 8 and 9 this week, Chris Schmidt and Jeff Heeg, who are at the bottom, only 21,000 points for Jeff. That could be a problem in future episodes because we can only have 10 finalists. To find out more, join us next week for more King of 2 Miles.